Final game, day 2 of iHod 2024. Coming at you with Stephen K. I am Star Spangled Hammer, and we're going to be calling this game between the Race City Rebels and the Mexico City Disorder. First up, the roster for the Race City Rebels. Number 10, Andy. Number 12, Razor. 123, Diamond. 18, Flipper. 22, It's a Trap. 26, Reed. 31, Floppy Joe. 34, Grimace. 55, Blint. 57, Rowdy. 70, Doc Flatliner. 77, Roller Keister. 81, Steph. 823, Stretch Armstrong. And 84, Wham Bam. They are coached by Tiny and Mighty, Fifth Assassin, Dougie Fresh, and O-Crit.
And introducing the Disorder from Mexico City, Mexico, starting off number 00. Number 09, Mr. Nitro. 17, Nobody. 20, Kevinator. 23, Soul. 53, Davido Desu. Number 55, Erbalama. 75, Bisho. 79, Kotlaku. Number 8, Perversa. And 83, Ixchel. Coach is Teapot Hedron, Dave, Dover, and Marmota.
All right, to get this one started off, we've got Floppy Joe on the line for Race City. Looks like Kevinator out there for Disorder.
Floppy Joe taking the inside lane, getting checked out, and Kevinator taking the outside lane, getting checked out. And here comes Floppy Joe out of the turn one, Khalid Jammer. Or I guess rather didn't have lead jammer, and Kevinator got lead and called it off way behind.
Next up on the Collectivum Sports Jammer line, it's going to be It's a Trap for Race City. Hirbamala out there for Disorder.
Hirbamala, just a couple defenders to get past at the front in turn two. And breaking out, coming away, lead jammer for the Disorder.
So 0 going to take a seat in the penalty box. So a 4-on-3 pack advantage. Sorry, 3-on-3 pack advantage. 3-on-3 pack. I will get it out eventually. It's been a long day, folks. Bear with me. So each team with one blocker in the box. That is the 187 Killer Pads penalty box, by the way, in case you were wondering. Got Grimace out at the 888 pivot line, along with Bisho.
And Razor's coming away lead jammer for Race City. Erbamala is starting off in the penalty box. Razor picking up 4 points in that first scoring pass. Enjoying the power jam for a few more seconds. Razor working on that third pass. Erbamala working on an initial pass, but forearms called on Razor. And now we're going to have a 2-minute jam with 1:05 left. Our pack backing up behind the pivot line. Our AAA pads pivot line. Erbamala on a scoring pass now, working against the tripod of Race City, gets past. Picking up 4 points for Disorder. Eight all early in this game. Both jammers in the pack picking up points again. And Razor breaks through on the far straightaway. 4 points signaled by a ref. And 4 signaled for Erbamala for Disorder. Nice check out on Razor on the inside of turn 2. Both jammers working against their respective defenses. Razor breaks through one last time. Erbamala picking up 3 more points for Disorder. All right, looks like our score now updated 15-16. Advantage Rebel City. Nice close one so far, 5 minutes in.
Bisho out there for the Disorder. Blint out there for Race City. Ooh.
Race City losing a blocker to a multiplayer block. Meanwhile, Bisho coming out of the pack, lead jammer. Two-point signal for Disorder, and black on, looks like 3 signaled for Disorder. And no point signal for the Rebels. Kevin Ader for the Rebels on the jam line. Kevin Ader for Disorder on the jam line. And Floppy Joe for the Rebels. Floppy Joe getting that initial pass, and Kevin Ader breaking through, getting his 4 points on that first scoring pass. Disorder up right now, 22 Rebels, Race City Rebels 16.
Want to say hello to everybody out there watching us on the Twitch stream. Welcome. Last game of the day here at iHod 2024. Erbamala out there for the Disorder, going to be your lead jammer. It's a trap. Jamming for the Race City Rebels. If you're just joining us, Race City in black, Disorder in white.
Erbamala picking up a penalty, track cut there. Race City now going to have a power jam, and we're going to go a full 2 minutes. It's a trap getting run back to the pivot line. Disorder comes back to assist. It's a trap knocked out again. It looks like Zero's going to pick up a forearms, head to the box. Disorder with 2 blockers at the front of the pack on the far straightaway getting stretched out, and it's a trap, breaks free, picking up 4 points for the Rebels. Arabamala's penalty time over. Rejoin the pack through the Rebels defense, picking up 4 points. Arabamala breaking through again on the far straightaway. 4 more points for Disorder. It's a trap breaking through as well, picking up those 4 points. Pack still holding steady between on the far straightaway. Rolling to turn 2 and 3 now. It looks like both jammers break through again, picking up 4 more points before the jam ends.
So far this game, the teams both evenly matched. As shown by the score, only 6 points separating these two squads right now with 20:45 to go here in the first half. The score, Disorder 34, Race City 28.
Nothing I love more than a close game.
Yeah. Razor out there for the Race City Rebels. Bisho out there for Disorder. Razor going to be your lead jammer.
Ishel headed to the box on a forearms, it looks like. Disorder down a blocker on the far straightaway now.
So 4 points for Race City on that jam.
Looks like we got Perversa on the jam line for Disorder. And Blint for the Rebels. And Perversa, no. Blint out first for the Rebels. Coming away lead jammer. Perversa still working on the initial pass. Blint on a scoring lap now. And Perversa handing off the start to nobody for Disorder. Rebels going off the jam, 4 points, and shutting out Disorder that jam. A little bit leapfrogging on the scoreboard right now. Race City Rebels now taking the lead 36 to Disorder's 34. Lining up for jam number 9.
Kevin Ader going to be your lead jammer. Floppy Joe out there for Race City.
Floppy Joe getting a good assist from their teammate, and jam call 3-0 advantage Disorder. So we've got a forearm called there at the very end, a number 70 for the Rebels. Be Doc Flatliner. Arabamala jamming for Disorder. But it's a trap, coming away lead jammer for the Rebels. Arabamala check to the inside, working that initial pass. One blocker get past, checked out again on the outside. And it's Trapp breaking through in a scoring pass. 4 points. It's a Trapp getting through the pack, picking up 4 points, calling off the jam, 4-0 advantage.
So an 8-point jam there for Race City gives them a 7-point lead. 16:22 to go here in the first half. Next up on the Collectivum Sports Jammer line is number 12, Razor.
Blocker piece sitting in the box, one standing for the Rebels.
And for the Disorder, and Razor picks up a forearm penalty right off the bat.
Bisho.
As Bisho for the Disorder, who is also your lead jammer now, thanks to the penalty to Razor.
Pack holding steady at turn one as they get stretched out. Bisho escapes 4 points, advantage, 4 points for Disorder. Disorder's tripod lining up in the back of the pack at turn one. And here comes Razor on the outside, that initial pass.
So let's see. I think we might have a tie game here. Or did they get all four? Nope, 3. So we're going to have a tie game. Let's start over.
No complaints here. Keep it tight. Keep it fun.
That's right. Good way to close out the second day of iHod 2024, the 5th game of the day. If you happen to miss earlier, the Casco Bay beat the Beekeepers 230-149. The Aftershocks beat the Rebels 240-120. Gatekeepers knock off the Denver Ground Control 179-115. And then just recently, Casco Bay knocked off the Tremors 226-110.
Kevin Eder, your lead jammer, and rolling up on the pack with Blint hot on his heels. Going to call it off. A 0-0 jam as the pack was off to the races and jammer on jammer heels. Sort of bringing a good fight right now, down a few players on the roster. Still tied at 44, 13:52 on the game clock. Arabamala jamming for Disorder, Floppy Joe for the Rebels. And here comes Floppy Joe on the outside, coming away lead jammer. Arabamala looking strategically against the Rebels tripod at the front. Floppy Joe in the pack again. Finds it outside the inside lane, coming away 4 points. Arabamala makes that initial pass. Whistle on the far side. And the Rebels lose Stretch Hamstrong.
What a great name, Stretch Armstrong. Showing my age there, but I really enjoy that name. It's a trap now on the Collectivum Sports Jammer line for Race City. I think that's Bisho for the Disorder.
And it's a trap finding that inside lane before he even hits the pivot line. And Bisho able to find the inside line to that turn one. It's a trap in the pack now. Picks up a few points and calls it off before Bisho can hit the pack. Looks like 2 signaled up in the air. The Rebels able to extend this early lead now, up by 10, 54-44, 12 minutes to go.
Sure seems like this half's going by really fast, doesn't it?
That's been like most of the games today, I think.
So we're going to have our first Toy Division timeout. Toy Division, an inclusive toy store and community for anyone who loves toys, video games, collectibles, and everything in between. If you're here locally, there's an upcoming show at Little Bevo Pride next Saturday, June 15th. You can find them on all the social medias. Toy Division. Roller Derby Level Up. Hit your next level in roller derby with personalized training, off skates, on skates, and video review. Roller Derby Level Up has your training covered. Visit them at www.rollerderbylevelup.ca. Got some great matchups for you tomorrow as well, starting at 10 a.m. Central Time. Casco Bay taking on the Race City Rebels at 10 a.m., as I mentioned. At 12 p.m., the Gatekeepers take on the Mexico City Disorder. And then at 2 p.m. to close out iHod 2024, it'll be the Denver Ground Control versus the San Diego Aftershocks. So 3 good games coming for you tomorrow.
All right, looks like we got Razor for the Rebels, Kevinator for Disorder. I believe right now we have 7 of 16 of our penalties are forearms. 7 total penalties for Disorder and 10 for the Rebels. Kevinator recycling back behind the jam line and on the power jam now. Excuse me, that I thought I saw Jammer sitting down, but Razors recycle back to turn 4. Kevinator working against this tripod right in front of the announcer table with these against the Rebels. Breaking through signal no lead jam. We got a 2-minute jam, I believe. He's showing the box now for forearms. So order down a blocker. Kevinator with 4-point signal right now. Both jammers rolling up on the pack, and the pack off to the races from turn 1 to turn 2 on the far straightaway now. And Razel picking up 4 points. Kevinator mixing up with the pack, picking up points as well. A couple Rebels to get past defensively. Three final points signaled for the Rebels. And looks like 4 for Disorder. Rebels down a blocker in the box. We got Erbamala jamming for Disorder. Race City Rebels has Blint on the jam line. Blint backed up to turn 4. Erbamala breaks out, gets lead, but steps out. Is going to get recycled back to turn 4 as well. And Blint's out of the pack on the scoring pass, and Erbamala going to go ahead and call the jam to avoid giving up any points.
61-52 the score now, 8:47 to go here in the first half. Race City up over the Mexico City Disorder.
Keep looking at that clock. It's like, wow, where did that go? Enjoying this matchup so far too much. Or so much, I should say. Not too much.
Looks like it's a trap out there for Race City. Oh, sorry, that's Floppy Joe for Race City. That is Bisho for the Disorder.
Floppy Joe working side to side on the outside and breaks through out of turn one. Bisho goes for a jump on the apex, comes away, lands on knees, in bounds though. Floppy Joe picks up the floor and calls it, denying disorder that jam.
Very even game right now with penalties. There's 12 for each side. Now it's a trap on the Collectivum Sports Jammer line for Race City.
And Perversa for disorder. It's a trap looking for that inside lane. Gets checked back. Going to take him back to turn 4. Perversa working against the 3-wall at the front of the Rebels. Up there at the AAA pivot line.
Really good wall work by both squads right now.
Absolutely. That defense is looking pretty amazing tonight. Only a 13-point difference in the game right now. And it's like Steph getting called for forearms there, head of the box for the Rebels. Perversa getting out of the box, lead jammer. A Rebels player getting out of play, letting Perversa go, picking up 4 points for disorder. Now 56-65. Perversa stretching out, wham bam again, 4 more points for disorder. Gonna call a jam off as it's a trap. Gets out of that pack, or excuse me, a star pass, I believe, to Doc Flatliner.
Right as that jam was called, Steph was for Race City was being released from the penalty box, so both teams will be back to full strength in the pack. Only 5 points separate these two squads. Race City 65, Disorder 60. 5:30 to go here in the first half.
Kevin Ader for disorder, a Razor for the Rebels. Kevin Ader gives a big shoulder check right back, but gets checked out. Going to be brought back almost to the jam line. A Razor breaks through, lead jammer out on the inside of turn 2. Kevin Ader going for the inside of turn 2 as well. Checked out again, recycling behind the blocker that checked him out. Breaks through the initial pass. And now Razor breaks through, picking up 4 points and calling off the jam. Now a 9-point game. Advantage Rebels. Hammer, I don't want this first half to end.
Yeah, it has been a very, very tight game here. Blint on the line for Race City. Bisho for the Disorder. Track check call on Doc Flatliner. He's going to take a seat in the 187 Killer Pads penalty box. I'm having trouble talking all of a sudden. It's been a long day, folks.
And Erbamala jamming for Disorder, calling off that jam. No points either team.
Have not seen too many 0-0 jams today.
We've had 2, I think, this game so far.
Yeah.
But being this tight, 9-point game still, 60-69 for the Rebel advantage.
So it'll be Floppy Joe out there for Race City, Bisho for the Disorder.
Bisho goes for that inside line, gets checked, going to recycle behind. Floppy Joe checked out, stepping right in behind the blockers. And Bisho breaks out first on the inside, lead jammer. Forearms on 0 to sort of loosen a blocker in the back. Both jammers hit the pack. Bisho going to go ahead and call it. But Rebels able to sneak away with 2. Kevin Ader back on the jam line for Disorder.
It's a trap out there for Race City.
Kevin Ader checked out on that far side. They're going to bring him back, way back to the straightaway pretty much.
Got 2 blockers in the box for the Disorder. 4-on-2 pack advantage in favor of Race City.
It's a trap coming away, lead jammer out of the pack. And David Odesu picking up a forearms for Disorder, going to be sitting down in the box. Kevin Ader checked out after jumping over the inside of turn 4, recycling behind. And getting through that pack, picking up 4 points. It's a trap with the lead now, back of the pack, trying to pick up points as well. 4 points and calls it. And Eshell takes a seat in the box for a forearms that 887, or excuse me, Killer 187 pads.
Razor out there now for the Race City Rebels. Hirbamala out there for the Disorder. What will likely be the last jam of the half. Razor going to be the lead jammer for Race City.
Arabamala working against a 2-wall. The Rebels stretched way out. And check him out. He gets in, but kicks up a track cut.
Ooh. So a power jam here. We're probably going to get some bonus derby as the period clock winds down. Period clock has now expired, but still 1:14 on the jam timer.
And the Rebels trying to back up the pack now, backing up to turn 4, doing a little soul crushing there.
So what had been a very close game up until just recently, Race City is now been able to put some jams together and stretch out a bit of a lead now, 23 the lead, with more to be added here as Razor works their way through the pack.
Eshell doing a great job of blocking out Razor to keep the Rebels from getting any points there as Arabamala's penalty time ended.
So that's going to take us to the half. The score, Race City 87, Disorder 64. So we're going to have a 15-minute intermission, and boy, was that a fast half, only 33 minutes. So you don't get much faster than that. Looks like we got some raffle tickets to draw. Gonna draw and give away some loot, some sweet. Looking at penalties, pretty even. Disorder with 16, Race City with 15. Each team with one player at 4 penalties. Don't forget, Day 3 coming at you 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning as Casco Bay takes on the Race City Rebels. At noon, we got the Gatekeepers versus the Disorder. And then our final game of the day at 2 p.m., Ground Control take on the Aftershocks. So still 3 games to go tomorrow. This will be the last game of the day here today. Day 2, iHod 2024.
Bisho on the jam line for Disorder. And Rowdy for Rebels. Our second half underway. Bisho coming out the pack. Lead jammer for Disorder.
I do believe this is Rowdy's first time on with the Jammer Star.
I do believe you're right. I don't remember seeing him in the first half.
So Race City with a bit of a lead, mixing things up here, putting a different jammer out there.
Disorder losing 0 to a track cut, headed the box.
We'll have to keep an eye on 0 as that's his 5th penalty.
And Bisho getting through the pack, calling off the jam there. 8 points scored for Disorder, chipping away that lead again, making it nice and tight, 72 to Rebels 90.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the penalties this weekend. A lot of that is due to the magnificent equipment that we have here at our disposal, as we can see the penalties coming in real time. And I think we can safely say that iHod 2024 is brought to you by the letter F for forearm, as that has been the predominant penalty called today. Is a lot of Fs on this penalty sheet here, and that has been pretty much the standard all weekend. So clean up your play, everybody. Come on.
Keep those arms tucked in.
Those forearms don't penalize themselves.
No chicken winging.
Yeah, that's right.
Floppy Joe breaking out first for the Rebels. Lead jammer, Erbamala, jamming for Disorder, working an initial pass and breaking through on the far straightaway. Mr. Nitro trying to slow down Floppy Joe, but he breaks out, picks up 4 points and calls it off, shutting out Disorder that pass. Now Rebels up 94 to Disorder 72. Lots of game times. We just ticked past 28 minutes. Kevin Ader for Disorder on the jam line. It's a trap for the Rebels. And Kevin Ader breaking through on the inside, coming away lead jammer. It's a trap off the races, fighting against Eshell, I believe. And Kevin Ader rolling up on the pack. Takes a big shoulder, goes down. Middle of the track, deciding to call it off. 1 point for Disorder. Will take us up to 73 for Disorder. Rebels 94. I believe we got Bisho on the jam line again for Disorder. And Razor for the Rebels. And Bisho breaks through. Lead jammer for Disorder. And Disorder recycling their blockers to keep Razor back in the pack. Had one blocker to get past, and they've recycled almost all 4. Still holding Razor in. Breaks through finally on the far straightaway. And Bisho gets through the pack, picking up 4 points. Taking a look ahead, letting Razor roll ahead. And calling it off before they hit the pack. Four added to the total for Disorder, now 77 to Rebels 94.
17 points, the differential now in Race City's favor. Looks like Bisho on the line against that. I think that's Rowdy again up there for Race City. The Bisho for Disorder on the Collectivum Sports Jammer line. Oh, sorry, that's Erbamala. That Bisho.
Forearms called on number 9 for Disorder. That's Mr. Nitro. Erbamala.
First penalty for Mr. Nitro, and oh, look at that. It's a forearm. Imagine that. Shocking, I know.
Erbamala is your lead jammer. And our jammers are off to the races. Erbamala going to roll up on the pack, calling it off, but
no points.
Rowdy hot on his heels.
Gave out a couple wonderful packages here at halftime. 888 equipment revolutionizing roller derby safety with cutting-edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. Stay protected with 888. And Killer 187 pads, often imitated, never duplicated. Stick with the best. 187 Killer pads.
Floppy Joe for the Rebels. Kevinator for Disorder. And Kevinator breaking through first. Disorder doing a great job of getting that lead jammer status tonight. Floppy Joe breaking out now. Kevinator on a scoring pass. Gets checked down, out of bounds. Picks up the 4 points, deciding to call it off with Floppy Joe rolling up on the pack. 4 points added to Disorder's total. Now 81-94, 13-point differential. And Bisho on the jam line for Disorder.
It's a trap out there for Race City.
Penalty box is emptied out right now. Hopefully I didn't give an announcer curse and somebody's going to get a forearms here. And Bisho out first on the inside of turn 1, coming away lead. Zero doing a great job of blocking out. It's a trap at the back of the pack. Forearms called on the far straightaway. Rebels losing number 34 to a forearms. That'd be Grimace. And Diamond jamming with the star now. And Disorder calls it off, picking up 7 points that jam now. 88 Disorder, 94 Rebels.
Don't forget tonight's after party is at Fortune Teller Bar on Cherokee Street. Try one of their fantastic cocktails or a mocktail if that's more your speed. Food is also available at Forest City Barbecue, located inside the bar. Is owned by a former gatekeeper, Lumberjerk. So come on out to the after party tonight at Fortune Teller Bar immediately following this game.
7 jams in 8 minutes this second half. Perversa jamming for Disorder, Rowdy for Rebels, and Rowdy is breaking out. Checked out late, but looks like a forearms called on the blocker, headed to the box. Another forearms. Perversa holding a star, I believe, and trying to get through.
It's kind of like Oprah is out there wearing stripes. You get a forearm. You get a forearm. Everybody gets a forearm.
Take it back. I don't want it.
Well, you and I don't have to worry about that.
Speaking for the blockers and the
Yeah.
players.
So Rowdy is your lead jammer. Only 10 points separating these two squads now as Disorder has put together a little bit of a run here.
And
Race City with lead, though, going to stretch that lead back out a little bit.
Rowdy dip below on the far straightaway to get down in turn 4. Gets checked out and going to go ahead and call the jam off. Able to deny Disorder that jam. It looks like 3 final points for Rowdy and the Rebels. 11 total. Crossing that century mark, 105 to Disorder's 88. That's a 17-point lead if I I'm calculating that right. Hopefully I didn't jump on a math grenade. Erbamala jamming for Disorder, Razor for Rebels. Another forearms on the far side, nobody. And Rebels losing a blocker as well, it looks like.
So 3 points for the Disorder, 2 points for Race City on that jam.
Net positive Disorder, chipping away at the lead.
With 19:30 to go here in the second half. The score, Race City 107, Disorder 91.
All right, we got Kevin Aidard jamming for Disorder. Floppy Joe jamming again for the Rebels. And another forearms. That one on the Rebels. Meanwhile, Floppy Joe breaks out as lead jammer. Steph picking up that forearms for the Rebels.
You know, I've been hearing a lot of talk by the players today and yesterday that they feel that the referees are calling too many forearms, and my answer to them is to just stop getting forearm penalties. I mean, it just seems kind of obvious to me that you should just stop doing it if you're getting called for it.
Or at least make it to where a ref can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, get better. I guess what I'm trying to say here is play cleaner, you bums.
Keep your forearms to yourself.
That's right.
Bisho jamming for Disorder.
20 points now the difference.
Floppy Joe, excuse me, we're froze up there.
Bisho, your lead jammer for Disorder.
It's a trap jamming for Rebels.
Believe we have ourselves a star pass. So Diamond is now the jammer for Race City.
Bisho picking up 4 points for Disorder now. Back in the pack. 4 more points. 8-0 that jam. Disorder now at 99. Rebels at 111. Still a tight game here. 12-point differential. I better be careful with my math so I don't get called on miscalculation.
We're announcers. We're not expected to be able to math.
Well, we know Twitch chat will definitely call us out on it.
Whatever.
Erbamala jamming for Disorder, Razor for Rebels. Razor at the front of the pack, one to get past. And Disorder's blocker gets out of play, had to let Razor go. As Razor's now lead jammer. High block now called on the far straightaway. That's a new one.
Yeah. They say variety is the spice of life. I'm not sure the jammer agrees with that right now.
And Erbamala is in the penalty box, so Razor will enjoy the power jam. Extend that lead now. Second pass for another 4. It looks like that high block was on Erbamala on the far straightaway. Penalty time now over for Erbamala, now in the pack, picking up points for this team. Excuse me, that was an initial pass for Erbamala. 4 final points signal for the Rebels. 12-0 advantage, that jam for the Rebels.
Stretches that lead out to 24 with 15:09 to go here in the second half.
Still lots of time and lots of competitive play happening.
Now we have a timeout by the Disorder. That's a Toy Division timeout. Toy Division is an inclusive store and community for anyone who loves toys, video games, collectibles, and everything in between. If you're here local, they're going to be in an upcoming show at Little Bevo Pride next Saturday, June 15th. That's Toy Division. You can find them on all the socials. Collectivum Sports, the Jammer Line sponsor, is the only authorized dealer of MS Sportswear Derby products, the fastest growing brand in Derby apparel with a commitment to quality and performance. M Sportswear offers innovative designs that keep pace with the dynamic nature of roller derby. Contact Collectivum Sports today for your new team gear and experience the best in comfort and style on the track. You can find them on the iHod Linktree, linktr.ee/iHod.
And 60-second team timeout over now. 15:02 on the clock to start Jam 13. That 187 killer pass penalty box is empty, but
Reed out there jamming for the Race City Rebels. I believe that's the first time they have donned the star today for the Rebels. Oh, Zero just blasted Reed out on turn one.
Bisho's lead at the front of the pack on a scoring pass now. 4 points picked up for Disorder. They cross the century mark now. 103 to 123. Easy math. I can do that one. It's 20 points.
Two more points there for the Disorder on the second scoring pass, so 6 total.
Now I'll have to do subtraction. 20 minus 2 would be 18.
Look at you. Impressing me with them math skills. You so fancy.
I think my first job, that was a fast food restaurant where you take 20 orders before you can even get the cash register to ring up orders. Count cash that quick.
Yeah. Kevin Ader out there for the Disorder. Floppy Joe for Race City. Kevin Ader is going to be your lead jammer.
Kevin Ader in the pack, picking up points. Floppy Joe working that initial pass. And 4 signal for Kevin Ader in Disorder. Floppy Joe racing around the outside of turn 2, able to hang on, taking those checks.
Oh.
Big check. Kevin Ader takes it, gives it back, picks up 4 points, calls that jam. 8 total for Disorder on that jam. 113 to 123, a 10-point game. Just under 13 to go on the game clock.
All right, back in action here. 10 points separate these two squads. Irbamala versus Razor. Razor going to be your lead jammer, Race City.
Irbamala getting an assist from nobody. Checked out by the Rebels blocker, and Irbamala is going to recycle behind the pack while Razor's in the pack now picking up points. Picking up a forearms.
Oh.
Irbamala on a power jam.
That's right. Even jammers can collect forearm penalties. So a 2-minute jam coming up here.
And Disorder slowing down that pack, stopping it at turn 3 and 4.
Oh, look at Diamond with that one-on-one work.
As initial pass for Arabamala now on a scoring lap. Pack holding steady at turn 4 as Arabamala hits the pack. Now picking up points against the defenders. Disorder trying to chase down Razors. Penalty time is over. Finds an inside lane at turn 1 and gets through the pack. Rebels getting stretched out. Got to let Arabamala go on the far straightaway. We've got a few penalties here. One blocker apiece out of the box right now. Looks like we'll have 2 for Disorder in the box, 1 for the Rebels. Just under half a minute to go in this jam. Arabamala back by the jam line, checked out. Going to recycle behind. Oh, big hit there by Razor. And now 3 head to the box for Disorder with a high block on Davido Desu, I believe. Excuse me, no, that was Kotliku.
So that jam comes to its natural conclusion. 12 points for Race City, 7 for the Disorder. Now 15 points separating these two squads. 10-13 to go here in the second half. Final game of day 2, iHod 2024. Rapidly approaching its conclusion.
Hammer, I'm loving these round numbers, 120, 135 in 10 minutes.
Yes, as someone who struggles mightily with the maths, I appreciate this.
Floppy Joe coming out first. Lead jammer for the Rebels. Bisho hot on his heels. The pack getting off the races, but not before the jammers hit the pack.
Yeah, I don't think Floppy Joe realized how close the Disorder jammer was on their tail. A little bit late on the call-off there, and that's going to allow the Disorder to get 3 of their own points. So some non-lead points for the Disorder there.
1 point advantage, Rebels, on that jam. Kevin Ader jamming for Disorder. And looks like we got 1 standing in the box for Disorder, down 1 blocker in the pack right now. It's a trap jamming for Rebels. And Kevin Ader finds an outside lane, coming away lead jammer. And Disorder goes to work on It's a Trap, keeping them in the pack as long as they can. 0 with a big check out. Looking for a track cut. I believe went down, but feet stayed in. Whistle on the far side. I believe that was a forearm signal. No, track cut signal.
Oh, Kevin Ader. So going to be a power jam now for Race City.
Just over a minute to go in the jam. 8 on the game clock.
0 with the big force out now, drag, and It's a Trap all the way back to the 888 pivot line.
Rebels following them along, making that track even longer.
Zero again, now dragging him all the way back to the jammer line.
Pretty much half a track run back now.
Get some Australian rules derby going on here as they're going the opposite direction right now.
Kevin Ader's penalty time is over. He's back in the pack. 2 blockers get past, but looks like picks up a forearms. Tapping his helmet and like, oh, I knew better than that.
The flavor of the day, the forearm.
Free forearms. And jam time ends there.
4 points there for the Disorder, 2 points for Race City.
Hard fought points too. Great defense by both the teams.
And now we're going to have an official review. Toy Division. Check them out online. Get all of your collectible toy needs with Toy Division. Check them out on the socials. Don't forget, we'll be coming back at you tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Central Time. Casco Bay taking on the Race City Rebels. Then at 12 p.m., Gatekeepers versus the Disorder. And then our final game of iHod 2024 at 2 p.m. as the Ground Control take on the San Diego Aftershocks. So still 3 games left to go here tomorrow, iHod 2024. Not sure what the official review is for, but we'll see if we can get some more information for you here shortly.
I suspect a point update.
Bambulance out there informing the 2 teams of the results of their official review.
And taking a look at the penalties while we got break, it looks like we have 27 for Disorder.
So Race City was challenging, claiming that the Disorder Jammer cut 3 of their own players. After official review, they determined that they came in front of just 1. So the official review will not be retained. And play continues with Razor out there jamming for Race City. Kevinator in the penalty box for the Disorder. And Razor's now going to be your lead jammer.
And both teams with 1 player apiece with 5 penalties. 27 penalties for Disorder, 22 for Rebels right now.
Doc Flatliner headed to the penalty box. That is his 6th. So we'll need to keep an eye on that as Doc now has 6 penalties. So 1 point there for Race City on that second scoring pass. 5, that'll be 5 total, I believe. That is correct, 5. 5:50 to go here in the second half. The score, Race City 146, Disorder 127.
Floppy Joe on the jam line for Race City and B-Show for Disorder. It looks like Doc Flatliner got a directional on that call for him head of the box. Now nobody is head of the box. Another forearms. Floppy Joe coming through unscathed, getting low and rolling through that outside lane. 4 points picked up and calling it off. The Rebels able to take advantage of the depth of their bench right now, probably, as Disorder's probably getting a little winded at this point. Only 11 players fielded tonight. Erbamala jamming for Disorder. It's a trap for Rebels. And Erbamala's out first, coming away lead jammer. It's a trap getting checked out a couple times, brought back to the jam line. Erbamala's on a scoring pass now. Working side to side against this three-wall tripod and up front, and they're getting an assist from nobody. Erbamala going to stretch him out as best they can. Breaks through, gets tripped up, stays up in bounds. Picking up 4 points, taking a look back. Meanwhile, teammates are running back Diamond, who takes the star pass. Taken back to the pivot line. Erbamala on another scoring lap on the far straightaway now. Race City getting stretched out, one blocker to get past. And Erbamala breaks through 4 points.
Only down by 15 now, and a real opportunity here for the Disorder to really close that gap. As Race City is not having any luck getting Diamond free at the back of the pack.
Erbamala now with another 4 points, 12 so far this jam, less than a half minute left in the jam. Erbamala another scoring pass, mixing up with two final blockers to get past right now.
Oh, and now a forearm. Sorry, not a forearm. Didn't see what the call was, but it wasn't a forearm.
On the penalty tracker, it is looking like a forearms.
So now it'll be a power jam opportunity for Race City. 16 points on that jam for the Disorder. It cuts the lead to 7. 2:09 to go. And a timeout now by the Disorder. A toy division timeout. We got one in the box, one in the 187 Killer Pads penalty box for Race City. The jammer for the Disorder also in the penalty box.
Definitely a good idea for Disorder to take a timeout with a jammer in the box late in the game here. 2 minutes left on the game clock.
Yeah, give them a bit of a breather. That way they come out a little more fresh once they get released from the penalty box.
Lots of players on the bench for Disorder with the helmets off, so definitely trying to cool off.
So Razor will take the jam line unopposed to start this jam off for Race City. That was the Disorder's final timeout. They do still have their official review. So they can stop the clock one more time. Razor with lead jammer.
Zero getting run back while Razor hits the pack now, picking up points. 4 points signaled by our inside pack ref. Or excuse me, our jam ref. Pack holding still in the far straightaway. Zero with a check out, bringing Razor back. Apparently was out of bounds, getting signaled for no pass, no penalty.
Yep.
And 3 points signal there because of that no pass, no penalty.
7 points so far for Race City this jam. Razor looking to add more with this pass.
Looks like Erbamala is holding the star just in case he decides to pass it, but checked out. Coming in behind turn 3. And star passed off to B-Show, it looks like. Zero checking out Razor, it looks like, bringing him back to that behind turn 4. And Bisha was in the pack, but does not have that star on. No point signal with no star on. Oh, and a turn of events. Razor into the box for a track cut, but only 15 seconds on the clock, on the jam time. 15 now on game time. This looks like this will be our final jam. Am I right? Good
so an official review being used as a timeout here. So we're going to have 4 seconds placed back on the clock. This game is not over.
One final jam.
So we're going to get some bonus derby here. So an interesting opportunity. Down by looks like 18. Razor sits in the penalty box for Race City. So if the Disorder can get
4.5,
some lucky breaks here,
4.5 passes,
they're going to need a lot of work to do it. But it is still definitely within the realm of possibility if things break their way in this final jam. I have certainly seen stranger in my many years of Derby announcing. I have actually, in fact, had the opportunity to call not 1, but 2 overtime jams.
Not had that pleasure yet. I would be lost to what I was doing at that point.
It is an interesting change of rules when that happens.
We've discussed the theory, but it's never happened in our league.
They are incredibly stressful.
It looks like Erbamala is in the penalty box as well for Disorder with Razor, the jammer for the Rebels. So Perversa is taking the star for Disorder this last jam. 2 blocks to get past, stretched out. Perversa is getting called lead. They got to let her go.
Well, here we go. Here's where things get interesting. Razor has re-entered play. Perversa looking to put the first scoring pass on the board. You have to think that with control that the Disorder will run this jam the full time.
And I believe we got a call to forearm there on the over by the jam line. And another forearm, so number 53. That was Davido Desu.
So Razor has now broken free. Perversa still trying to complete the first scoring pass.
Could call it, but what's the point because you're so down on points,
Yeah.
and we are out of time on the game clock. Another pass with points this time for Razor. And Perversa's going to go ahead and call it. What an exciting game.
Only 18 points will be the final separation of these two squads. The score 169 to 151, your final. And that does it for day 2 of iHod 2024. Alongside Stephen K., I am Star Spangled Hammer signing off. Good night. God bless.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you.
I'm gonna cock my 9. I'm gonna cock my 9.